Hello and welcome to this next session for Karate Framework using the test automation. Now, in this session, we will see how to execute the scenarios which are there in the feature file as standalone. What are the steps to do that? And we will do some hands-on practice for some of the feature files and with a sample, and then we will see multiple options. Now, why standalone? Sometimes you, as a testing user, you may not want to set up a even framework and the one what we have seen in the earlier videos. So you just want to run everything as a standalone. You have the feature files and you're good to go. So it is very simple and it is very straightforward. That is why we sometimes need to use standalone. Now what we need to do is we need to download the karate framework jar file and get started. So let us see. Now, you just if you see here on their main help page on the GitHub, I'm using the standalone executable. I'm going to this section, or if you simply go to Google and say search for Karate Framework zip release, so you should go to this link called as Karate releases. So it will give you the latest link. And if I come here, yeah, this is the link which you will get. So this is the latest as on today. So I'll download 1.3.0 zip release. If I go down, yeah, this is the zip file, and or you can download the jar file directly. Now, once you download that, then we will come to this Karate Netty help page where we will see the documentation on how to run as standalone. So very straightforward. You have Java installed, so Java minus jar and the jar file name or path and your feature file name with path. Very straightforward, as simple as that. So I have already downloaded this and I have kept it in my separate folder. So I'm using Karate 1.3.0 and I have a feature file which has only couple of scenarios, only two scenarios. So let's get started. Now, how do we run it? As per their documentation is Java minus jar, jar file and feature file. So I'm using 1.3.0, so I'm using the correct name and I have one file called as users.feature. So I will copy this command, very simple, very straightforward. So I'll go here, I will open a command prompt here and I will copy the command once again and run it. So we'll copy and run. Okay, so one feature file was there and there were two scenarios, both are passed. And if you see, there will be one target folder generated. So if I go here, yeah, so this is where it all started. So there will be one target folder, go to karate reports, and you can see the report as karate summary, open with go. Okay, so there is one feature file and two scenarios, both are in green. Right, okay. Now let's see a couple of options. Now, if you obviously, let's say if you have multiple feature files, so let's say user one, user two, so just provide the path and the name of the feature files and you're good to go. So I have another folder where I have multiple feature files. So I will open separate command prompt or you can use the same command prompt. Just your path and correct jar file path should be correct. Okay, so this, if I see dir, you see there are two feature files and one jar file. So I will run this command. So two feature files into two scenario each. So there will be four scenarios executed. Okay, scenarios four, past four. Okay, and let's go here and now you see target folder is generated, karate reports and karate summary, HTML, open with go. So two feature files. So first feature file, two scenario green, summary. Second feature file, two scenario green. Let me just close it. Let's go to the next one. So we will see some standalone execution with multiple options. Now, let's say we want to execute feature files from a single, from some folder structure and only one feature file. Even if there is multiple feature file, we want to execute from only from one feature file. All the scenarios from only one feature file. So the way to do is You give file colon and the actual path of your feature file. This is also given in their documentation. So copy and we go here. So here if you see there is no folder structure. So I have uh, one more folder where I have karate.jar and I have a little bit organized folder structure. So features and 01 login and login feature. So again, same feature file but in a proper folder structure. So I will open command prompt here again, and the command is this one, features 01 login dot feature. One feature file, two scenarios passed. As simple as that. Now let's go to the target folder. Once again, there's a target folder, karate reports and karate summary. So only one feature file and two scenarios which are in green. Now what else? So now in this case, what will happen? All the scenarios from this feature file will get executed. But we may not want that. Maybe we want to filter out only specific scenario. So we want to run only a specific scenario. So there is a feature that we can give the line number here, colon feature and colon line number. So only scenario which starts from line number 14 will be executed. So if you see features login dot feature, and if you see line number 14, there is one scenario. So I want to execute only this scenario from this feature file and nothing else. So how do I do that is again file features folder path and colon and the line number. See it is clear screen and run again. Found scenario at line number 14. Okay, so one scenario, one feature file, and only past is only one, zero failed. So only one scenario is considered. So how do I confirm it? So I will go to the target folder once again and reports and karate summary, one with Chrome. Yeah, only one feature file and only one scenario. That's it. Now there is a feature that now giving the line number all the time is not a correct idea. It's not a good idea because the line number may change. You may add extra steps in existing scenario, so this line number may change. So what you can do is you can apply filtering. So uh, couple of things here. So we can give something like tag. So if you see the feature file, there is a tag here called as T123 or at the rate name equal to whatever. So there are multiple ways. So you can give the tag or you can give the name. So how do you execute the uh, the scenarios with name? So just say minus t at the rate name equal to whatever. So whatever is mentioned here, just copy it here in the command and just put minus t. So now what will happen? Whatever number of feature file or files you have provided here, from that all the scenarios with this particular criteria will be filtered and executed. So we can apply filtering. So there can be one scenario, there can be multiple scenarios. So scenario one and past one failed zero. Again, I go to target folder, reports, summary, and only one scenario is executed. Okay. Now, now we will see instead of at the rate name, you can simply give some tag name. So with that also it is possible. So copy this. And if you see, we have seen that in this feature file, there is one scenario with this particular tag. Execute. only one scenario considered and only one is passed and zero failed. So target folder, reports, karate summary, HTML, and only Chrome. So one feature file and only one scenario is considered. So now we will see some other feature. So if there are multiple feature files and there are so many tags, practically it can be the case. Now you want to execute the test cases having tag A or B. Then you can give something like -t and this tag name, comma, this tag name. That means this or this. So if you say comma, that means it is a AND operation. And if you don't provide any comma, let's say if you give like this -t and this thing, so this is an AND operation. So normally we go for OR operation, so I will just put a comma. And there's one more thing here. Now so far we were executing the scenarios from a specific feature file. Now what if I want to execute all the scenarios under a folder itself? So now if you see here, there's a features folder, and what I want to do is I want to consider all the feature files from all the folders here. So what I need to do is I need to just give the parent folder path, and that's about it. So it will happen, all the feature files and all the scenarios will be considered, but now they are filtered with this particular tag. This is A or B. Now here, uh, what happens if there are a couple of scenarios which are having only this tag or only this tag, or let's say this tag is not at all present in any scenario. So that is fine. The point we are doing, considering here is we want to execute tag A or tag B. So whichever is matching, it will execute. If it doesn't match, it will not execute. So copy and once again execute. Okay, so entire uh, feature files in entire folder, there is only one scenario which is having that particular tag, so only one is considered. Let's see the report in the target folder, reports, karate summary, only one feature file is considered. Now let's do one thing. In the features folder, in the payment folder, there's one more feature file. So what I'll do, I will put one tag here. I will put this tag T555 and we put this tag. So now officially there are two scenarios which are matching that with this criteria. So officially there should be two scenarios to be executed. CLS, PSP, and HDL. Okay, so you see there are two scenarios, there are two feature files. One scenario is passed, one scenario is failed. So why it is failed, that is a different point, but two scenarios are considered. Okay, now let's see the report and let's see why it is failed. So if you go to the target folder and reports, and if you go to karate summary, so two feature files are considered. Good. One is green, one is red. So in this case, there is only one scenario considered, which is having T555 tag. Okay. Now there are failures because of the expectation. Now the point is that this API is basically a delete API, and for delete API, if it is successful, we are expecting 204 and not 200. So on purpose, there is a mistake made here so that we can see the failures. So our job here is uh, to check that whether the scenarios which are having this filter criteria are getting executed or not. So that is done. Right. So we have seen standalone execution for Karate framework. Thank you.